Just a word in closing about having your son as president. A lot of people ask if I consult the president regularly, and the truth is, if he calls, I listen. And if he asks, I give advice, just as I would for any president or any one of my 5 kids. But otherwise, it's different with Barbara. He'll call and she'll give the advice. She is known in our family, appropriately so, as the enforcer. And my favorite story is when the president came to visit us in Kennebunkport, and strange thing happened. When he got there, a lot of newspapers appeared. When I was president, and we'd be visiting up at Kennebunkport, you get 6 newspapers. I lose to Clinton, I never saw a newspaper for the next 10 years. Then my son is elected president, and there's all these papers. And he'd been out running 4 miles, and we all convene in our bedroom there, and Barbara's over writing on her book on her computer, and I'm sitting looking at a paper in my side of the bed, and the president's sitting there with his feet up on the table. And I said, Barbara looked at him, he was all sweaty and everything, running 4 miles. "George, take your feet off my table." I said, "Darling, the guy is president of the United States of America. He knows better than that." And so when I said it's all about family, that's what it is. You do the same thing. It's exactly what it is all about in my life and in Barbara's life today. On Election Day in November 1998, 2 of our sons were elected governors of the 2nd and 4th largest states in the country. Now president, was reelected, and Jebby, who had lost to a good Democrat 4 years before, was elected governor of Florida, 4th largest state in the country. And we debated whether to go over there. And we had chartered, splurged, dipped into capital, and splurged and chartered a little citation of some sort to fly to Miami, but we didn't want to go if he lost. It hurts. Let me tell you something. It hurts to lose an election. You have the feeling you let a lot of people down. And he lost before, and we were there, and it was, you know, like crepe hanging, and we were making it more difficult for our son. The president told me, "Well, Dad, don't worry about me. I'm going to win by 70% of the vote." I liked his confidence and thought he was full of it, but he won by 69.8 or something, so that was okay. But we waited, and we got these exit polls. You know what those are? Exit polls are coming in, and if they look good, you say, "I'm going to win." And if they look bad, you say, "Wait till I hear from the hill country. Wait till I hear from the west," you know, something like that. But anyway, the exit polls came in, and they looked very good, and we flew to Miami. I embraced my son. I got to introduce him as the next governor of the state of Florida, and we flew back. And we came across the Gulf of Mexico, and we saw the lights of New Orleans off to our right, and we saw the glow of Houston a little later up in front of us, the orange glow of the lights ahead. And Barbara and I hadn't said a word. We were just thinking. And I said to her, "You know, darling, this is the happiest day in my life." And she says, she thinks for a minute, "What about the day we were married?" I said, that was a very nice day too. And I've often thought about what is the happiest day in my life, and I don't know what it is. There have been a lot of proud moments because of the affection and love we have for the president. When he walked out into the Yankee Stadium right after 9/11, he strode to the plate. Everybody, "Oh, we were worried, you know, somebody might take a shot at him and all this stuff." He didn't care. Walked right out there, grooved the pitch right over the plate. And the next day, the New York Times said, "In what appeared to be a strike," I'm going, "It's right over the middle of the plate. What are you crazy liberals talking about?" You know, it was outrageous. So we're going through some interesting times like that. But let me tell you in conclusion that we feel very blessed, not because I was privileged to have climbed, with the help of many right here, the highest political mountain in the world, but because of family, because of our quiet faith, and because of our many friends, some of whom are right in this room tonight. And that, believe me, to you Valparaiso kids who may have had to suffer through this speech, when you get older, never neglect your friends when things are going up, because you might well need them when things aren't quite as good. And never, ever take for granted the love of your family. Thank you very, very much.